Hi everybody, welcome back to another week of meals on the Family Seesaw. Tonight it's Thursday night and we're having a midweek Brinner breakfast for dinner. So we've got chipolata sausages, bacon, mushrooms, beans, and I've got cheesy scrambled eggs. That's Tony's, he's got cheese omelette. Caleb's already had his, he had the same as me but minus the mushrooms and beans. He had some spaghetti and tomato sauce instead. So yep, Thursday night Brinner. Hi everybody, it's Friday evening and tonight we're having pulled pork with baked potatoes and salad. So I had a boneless shoulder of pork that I put in slow cooker this morning. I took off the outer skin, the part that turns into the lovely crackling if you roast it in the oven. Took that off, but then put the meat into the crock pot this morning. And then I made a quick sauce with some ketchup, brown sugar, cider vinegar, smoked paprika, garlic powder and onion powder. Mixed that together and poured it over the pork and just left it to cook for the whole day. And when I got home tonight I just shredded it up with some forks and then just let it back into the sauce to kind of cook for a little bit longer. I didn't shred it down too far because if we were having it in sandwiches I would have shredded it more, but because we're having it kind of as a meat dish, then I've just left some quite big chunks of the pork. But it is exactly the same as your pulled pork flavours that you normally get. So that's Caleb's. He's got a jacket potato with cheese, some cucumber, ketchup and barbecue sauce and pork. And then that's mine. I've got a bit more salad with some cucumber, lettuce, tomato and some coleslaw. And then some barbecue sauce as well. But you can see the pork is absolutely delicious and cooked through. Again, really easy to put it in the crock pot in the morning. So often on Friday we have a fake away or even a takeaway or we eat out. But tonight I wanted to use up this pork, so I thought this would be ideal. So we're looking forward to tucking into Friday night pulled pork. So it's Saturday evening and tonight we're having comfort food, sausage, mash, gravy and vegetables. So a bangers and mash supper. So I've got 2 Cumberland sausages with mash, steamed veg, and I've got some leeks and mushrooms with mine. And that's Caleb's. He's got the same, except he doesn't have the leeks and mushrooms. So bangers and mash for Saturday supper. Hey everybody, it's Sunday evening and tonight we're having something a bit different for our Sunday dinner. We're having steak with baked potatoes and salad. So this is Caleb's. I just buy the beef medallion steaks for a dinner like this. They're quite cheap, they cook up nicely, they're really actually quite juicy and tender if you just cook them slowly in the pan. And then I just save, like to buy a nice sirloin or a rump steak or a strip steak, something like that. I save that for if it's a special occasion meal. So this is, Caleb's got a whole steak, he's got jacket potato with some cheese on, and he's got a little bit of lettuce and some cucumber. He hasn't been feeling great today. He woke up with a bit of a cold, he really struggled at rugby a little bit. He wasn't his usual athletic self, so he still had a good game, but wasn't quite himself, and then he's just sort of relaxed the rest of the day. So I'm not sure how much he'll eat, but we'll have a go. And then this is mine, so I've got the same as Caleb, so that's the cooked steak there with a bit more salad. I've got some coleslaw and then I've got some mushrooms and onions as well with mine. For my steaks I just always season them with this. This is from Aldi, it's just chicken and steak seasoning. Has onion, garlic, chili and coriander in it. And just goes really nicely on any kind of piece of meat that you're just cooking. Now Tony doesn't eat beef, so he's got pork steaks for his dinner, but other than that exactly the same meal as me and Caleb. So we're off to enjoy our Sunday night steak dinner. It's Monday evening and tonight we've got chicken enchiladas for dinner. This uses one of my favourite kind of time-saving tips. I bought a whole medium chicken at the grocery store this week. This morning before we went to work I just popped it in the slow cooker, no liquid, no seasoning, nothing, just the chicken. By the time we got home the chicken's just falling off the bone and it's perfect for using in a chicken pie if you were going to make something like that, or something like this for chicken enchiladas or burritos. A whole host of uses for it, and it is moist and tender and really delicious. You really don't have to do anything to carve up the chicken, it falls apart by itself. So we've got chicken enchiladas, which has just got the chicken in the tortillas with enchilada sauce and some cheese on the top. I've also got some of this this is the Tilda spicy Mexican rice, and I've got a few stir-fried vegetables peppers, onions and mushrooms with mine. Because Caleb's eating, I didn't put any vegetables into the enchiladas. If it was just me and Tony, we'd probably have jalapenos in there and some onion and stuff like that, but I wanted to keep it simple for Caleb. So that's Caleb's one. He's having some cucumbers with his, and a little bit of ketchup for dipping. That is the pan. So you can see one medium-sized whole chicken made this whole pan. I think there were 11 or 12 tortillas we used, so quite a lot in there. And that is literally all that's left of the chicken. When you take it out of the slow cooker, it all starts to fall apart and you end up with next to nothing, just a pile of bones and connective tissue left. As I said, I don't add any liquid seasoning or anything. It is just the chicken in the slow cooker for the whole day while we're out, and it's perfect for using in chicken dishes at the end of the day. So moving away from the bones, back to our enchiladas, we're off to enjoy Monday tea. Hey everybody, it's Tuesday evening. This is one of those meals that's hard to make look appetizing on the plate, but it is actually really tasty. So it is creamy Parmesan chicken. I've got some potato chunks wedges that I did in the Actor Fryer. Started out with a plan for wedges, but the potatoes are just so awful at the moment. I had to cut big chunks out of some of them, so they've ended up all different sorts of shapes. Just some steamed broccoli. And then the chicken is chicken thigh fillets, which I cut up into smaller pieces, cooked them in just a little bit of olive oil until they were browned through. Put some button mushrooms, which I just halved and quartered, into the pan, cooked those through for about 5 minutes until they were browned. Then I put in a carton of single cream, some frozen peas and some whole grain mustard. Mix that all together, let it bubble for about 5 minutes. The cream and the flavours from the chicken make the sauce by itself. You don't have to add any other kind of seasonings. And then I just added some Parmesan cheese. When I took it off the heat, a couple of good tablespoonfuls of Parmesan cheese. Just stirred that through to add a cheesy flavour to it, and sprinkled on some chives as well. So creamy Parmesan chicken with potato wedges and broccoli is our Tuesday night supper.